Hey there, real quick before we get into today's episode. If you've been hearing everyone talk about AI and you're nodding along like you get it, but honestly, you're not really totally sure where to even start, then this one is for you. I am running the AI Curious to AI Confident Sprint the week of July 6th, and it is 5 days of live Zoom sessions where we go from AI sounds interesting to actually using it inside your business in real, practical ways. We're talking prompts that actually work, workflows that save you time, and using AI as a tool that fits into a 20-hour work week, not one that requires a tech degree to figure out. We meet every day that week at 11 a.m., and it's only $17 to join. If you've been waiting for the right on-ramp into AI, this is genuinely it. There's going to be no overwhelm, just 5 days of hands-on learning with me. Head to momsmakemoneycollective.com/sprint to grab your spot before we start on July 6th. And yeah, let's get into the episode. If you've tried AI, gotten excited, and then quickly gone back to doing everything yourself, then this episode is for you. Because the problem isn't that AI doesn't work. The problem is that you've been using it like a vending machine when what you actually need is a coworker. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Sustainable CEO Mom Podcast, the show for service-based moms who are done with hustle culture and ready to build profitable businesses that actually fit their lives. I'm Jenny Sunnison, business strategist, podcast mentor, and the founder of Moms Make Money Collective. Let's build something sustainable. Hey, and welcome back to the Sustainable CEO Mom Podcast, the podcast for service-based mom entrepreneurs who want to build profitable businesses that actually support their life instead of consuming it. Around here, we talk about sustainable growth, realistic business strategy, systems that save your sanity, and what it actually looks like to build a business in the margins of motherhood. Today, we're going to be getting into something that I think about a lot and honestly something that I hear about constantly from other mom entrepreneurs. And that is why most moms start using AI, get really excited about it, and then they just kind of stop. Like they'll use it for a week, maybe two. They'll post on socials like, okay, I'm obsessed with ChatGPT or Claude. And then 3 months later, they're back to doing everything manually, feeling overwhelmed, and wondering why AI didn't actually change anything for them. Does that sound familiar? If you've been there, or if you're in that cycle right now, I want you to know that it's not because you're not tech savvy enough or that AI is too complicated. And it's definitely not because AI doesn't work for mom entrepreneurs. It's because of one specific mistake. And once I name it, you're going to immediately see it in how you've been using AI. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's the thing. When most people start using AI, they treat it like a vending machine. They walk up, put in their request, get their output, and walk away. Things like write me a caption, get the output done. Summarize this email, output done. Give me 5 podcast ideas, output done. And that works fine for a little bit. But here's why it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick because you're using it as a task assistant. And a task assistant is only helpful when you remember to use it. So think about how a vending machine works. It just sits there and it waits for you to come to it. It doesn't know anything about you. Every single time you walk up, you start from scratch. It has zero context about your life, your business, your audience, and your voice. You feed it a prompt, it spits something out, and then the interaction is over. So what happens? You forget about it. You get busy. The kids are sick. You've got 3 client emails to return and a podcast episode to record. And something like open ChatGPT or Claude and figure out what to ask just doesn't make your priority list. And then AI becomes this thing that you use sometimes, and it never actually changes how much time you're spending in your business. So here's what I've learned, and this is a shift that changed everything for me. AI is not a vending machine, it is a coworker. And the moment you start treating it like one, everything changes. So let me paint you a picture here. Imagine you hired a really talented, highly capable team member. She's smart, she's fast, she's available whenever you need her, and she can help with basically anything in your business. But here's the thing. You never brief her. You never tell her what's going on. Every time you need something, you just hand her a task with zero context and you expect a perfect result. And then you're frustrated when she has to guess at your voice, your audience, your offer, all of it. So you never actually do that to a human team member, right? Because you know that a good working relationship requires context, communication, and some level of consistency. So that's exactly what a great AI relationship looks like. When I say things like treat Claude like a coworker, I mean this literally. A coworker is someone you check in with, someone who knows your business, someone you have a standing relationship with, not just a one-off transaction every time you need something done. And that shift from vending machine to coworker is what I call the Claude coworker method. So what does this actually look like in practice? Because I know some of you are probably like, okay, Jenny, that's a really cute analogy, but what do I do? So here's the core of it. Instead of opening Chat, GPT, or Claude when you need something, you build a standing check-in with it, just like you would with a team member. Think about it. So if you had a VA or an OBM or any other kind of support in your business, you probably wouldn't just text them randomly whenever something came up and expect them to drop everything and execute perfectly with zero context. You'd have some kind of rhythm, a weekly check-in, a Slack channel, a shared document where they know what's going on in your business. The Claude coworker method is that, but for AI. It's a standing relationship that you show up to consistently, not a tool that you pick up and put down whenever you feel like it. So here's what that looks like practically. So first, you give your AI coworker context. And this is the piece that most people completely skip. Before you ever ask for an output, you brief Claude on who you are, who you serve, what you're working on, and what's coming up. Your voice, your offers, your audience. You're not starting from scratch every time. Your coworker already knows the business. Then second, you want to treat every session like a standing meeting. You wouldn't walk into a team meeting and say, "Hi, who are you? Here's a random task. Okay, bye." You come in with an agenda. You update them on what's changed. You give them what they need to do great work. That's how you show up to AI, not something like write me a caption, more like, "Hey, I'm working on content for my upcoming launch. Here's what we're promoting. Here's who we're talking to. Here's the vibe I want. Let's batch it all out." Third, build the rhythm, not the rules. The reason that most moms don't use AI consistently is that they try to figure out what to use it for every single time they open the tool. That's really exhausting. Instead, I want you to decide in advance. Here's when I use AI in my business, here's what I bring to it, and here's how it fits into my CEO time blocks. You make it a habit, not a decision. When AI is a standing coworker relationship, not a random tool that you pick up when you feel like it becomes part of how your business runs. And it stops feeling like one more thing that you have to figure out. Now, I want to speak directly to something here because I think this is especially important for mom entrepreneurs specifically. We don't have unlimited time to experiment. We don't have the luxury of spending 2 hours figuring out the perfect prompt when we've got a 45-minute work window for school pickup. We need our tools to work efficiently, predictably, and consistently. The vending machine approach to AI requires you to do all the thinking every single time. Every session, you're figuring out what to ask, how to frame it, and how to give it context. And that friction is exactly why we stopped using it, because our brains are already maxed out. We don't have extra bandwidth to manage another complicated workflow. But the coworker approach removes that friction. When Claude already knows your business, your voice, audience, and what you're working on, then your sessions are faster, your outputs are better, and you spend less time editing and reprompting. And it actually starts to feel like support instead of one more task. That's the sustainable part. That's how AI actually changes your business, not by being a fancy tool that you use on occasion, but by becoming a reliable coworker you work with consistently. And here's what I want you to really sit with. You don't need more hours in your week to use AI well. You need a smarter relationship with it. So let me give you a quick gut check because sometimes we don't even realize that we've been treating AI like a vending machine. So here are some of the signs. You start every AI session from scratch. No context, no background, just a prompt. You use AI inconsistently. Some days you use it a lot, some days not at all, with no real rhythm to it. You spend more time prompting and editing outputs than you feel like you should. You've said AI doesn't really work for my business or the outputs are never quite right. Or you use AI for one-off tasks, but it's never actually reduced your workload. So if any of those hit home, then you're not alone. That is where most people are, and it's not your fault. And that's not your fault. It's because no one told you that there was a different way to do this. Nobody told you the relationship you build with AI matters just as much as the prompts that you use. But now you do know, and you can shift it. So here's what I want you to do this week. Before your next AI session, before you ask for anything, I want you to brief your AI coworker. Tell Claude or ChatGPT, here's who I am, here's my business, here's who I serve, and here's what I'm focused on right now. Give it the context that it needs to actually help you well. Treat it like you're onboarding a new team member on a Monday morning. You don't need a perfect prompt library. You don't need to take a course before you start. You just need to shift the relationship from transaction to collaboration. I want you to start there and see what changes. And then if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to actually build this into your business in a way that's structured, sustainable, and specifically designed for the time constraints of a mom entrepreneur, then I want to invite you to join the AI Curious to AI Confident 5-day sprint. So, the AI Curious to AI Confident sprint is a 5-day experience where I walk you through exactly how to set up AI as a real coworker in your business, not just a vending machine you use sometimes, but an actual part of how your business runs. We cover how to brief Claude so it knows your business and your voice. We cover how to build your standing AI workflow so you're not reinventing the wheel every time you open it. We cover how to use AI inside your real schedule, not some aspirational version of your week, but the actual hours that you have as a mom. It is the most practical, grounded AI training I have ever created, and it's designed specifically for mom entrepreneurs who are tired of starting and stopping with AI and just wanted to actually work for them. It's only $17, so it is a total steal for all the value that you'll be receiving. You can join us by going to momsmakemoneycollective.com/sprint. The link to join is also going to be available in the show notes for you. Go check it out. I would absolutely love to see you in there. All right, that is it for today's episode. If this resonated with you, please feel free to screenshot it and share it on Instagram and tag me. I'm at jenny.sunnison because I want to know what landed for you. And if you've got a friend who keeps saying, I tried AI and it didn't work for me, then I want you to send this episode to her right now because she needs this too. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Go be the sustainable CEO mom that you are.